got home from the gym, and she had her bags packed, and she literally said to me, I'm leaving you because we're not having sex, and I need sex, and that's it. And she was gone. And that led me down a path of addiction, drugs, partying, going to strip joints, because for me, it felt like I lost my manhood. That's what that hit me.
Imagine really fast quitting your job without telling your spouse. Is that kind of wild? It's pretty crazy. I didn't do that, but I did this right after I got married, so it was also pretty wild. Well, this is a different story. I brought a really fun guy. His name is Funk Roberts, and he's on the podcast today talking about what he did and what he chose to do to follow his dreams, break out from the corporate world, and head into the fitness world that he was all about for a lot of his life. He had to make some massive changes in his life. He obviously did it. One of them was not telling his spouse. But this is what he did to jump into a business model initially that was massive success. And it's crazy, the breakdown of the high highs, but also led him to low lows. Lots of chargebacks, lots of disputes. It's a whole business model that you might have heard of. He's going to break it down. He had to, again, reinvent himself. And now he has a thriving community of men over 40 teaching them all about fitness, testosterone, how to improve their lives as a whole. But don't worry, this episode is not all about men over 40. So if you are not a man over 40, you are going to learn a whole bunch about the thought process, the mental models that go behind it, the business models as well, the lessons of those lows, but also the big highs. And you could swipe and deploy that for your own self. If you are a man over 40, you're going to get some little extra notes on the fitness and the low T, high T side of things. So you're going to love this guy. Funk was great. I'm sure I'm going to have him on again, and definitely go follow him around outside of this podcast. Let's get into it. Hey, so before you get into the episode, I want to invite you to use the AI version of this podcast and of me that allows you to actually dive deeper on this episode and also any of the 600 other episodes I've already done. So it's totally free. And what you can do is go to hustleandflowchart.com/clone. That's CLONE. And when you go there, you could chat with text, audio, or the new video feature. It's kind of like FaceTiming me. And you could ask it exactly like, say, hey, Funk broke down this whole strategy around community building. What was that again? Or what were his top tips from this whole episode? And if you put Funk Roberts in there, it's now going to pull information from that episode and also allow you to dive in deeper. It'll ask you clarifying questions, kind of coach you through the episode. So it's like interactive notes. I think you're going to love it. Go try it out. Go to hustleandflowchart.com/clone. Go give it a shot. And if this is something you want for your own business, my team and I are building these things out. I'm an advisor of the company Delphi, the technology it's all built on. And if you reach out to me, one of the first few that are reaching out, I'm happy to hook you up with a free clone and almost $1,000 of other bonuses on top of that. Just email me, joe@hustleandflowchart.com. It comes right to me. Might be my team that helps manage it, so it's super fast response, but I want to build that clone for you. All right, email me, go enjoy hustleandflowchart.com/clone and the episode here with Funk Roberts. Hey, do you have more to-dos, less time, and an infinite number of tools to keep track of? I know I do. Doing business has never felt harder, but you don't need a miracle to hit your goals. You just need HubSpot. Because their all-in-one customer platform can make growing your business infinitely easier. Just imagine this: high-quality leads, fast-closing deals, wildly happy customers, and more benchmark-breaking quarters. It's not a miracle, y'all. It is HubSpot. So visit HubSpot.com to get started today. I want to get into, what brought you to the world you're living in now, because you're training men over 40. And I've seen your videos. I already told you, every time I watch them, just the thumbnail alone, I'm like, dang. And even my little girl, 4.5-year-old, she's like, he's ripped. I'm like, I know. He's 55.
Yeah.
So, dude, I don't know where to start, actually. So the tribe stuff, you mentioned that. Sure. Let's touch there first, and then we'll work backwards.
Sure. So, how did this begin? Well, I started I started online, probably like 2007, 2008, right? That's, you know, I've always been in health and fitness. I was a professional athlete, professional beach volleyball player, indoor volleyball player, played at the highest level. And then, you know, when I stopped, when I was 30, you know, started doing the corporate stuff, right? 9 to 5. But I still had a foothold in fitness, right? Like I was, you know, dabbling with personal training on the side, which I hated. I hated doing one-on-one training. I learned that very quickly. And then I moved to boot camps because there was no such thing as boot camps when I first started. I was one of the first to do boot camps. I had like 100 people come.
Dang.
But, you know, you're carrying all of the, you know, the resistance bands and the sandbags and the dumbbells and kettlebells because I'm setting stuff up. So that I learned that, okay, I can't keep doing this, man. I'm gonna die in my 30s. And then YouTube kicked off, right? YouTube started to kick off, and I realized, you know, oh, okay, let me just start putting, you know, videos on YouTube. You know, if you go back to my old school videos, man, it's just so like grainy. I'm in my basement. You know, I have a follow along workout in my basement. I'm black, so you can barely see me. I got no lighting. It's hilarious.
no lighting.
But people love it. People are like, yeah, Funk, I've been with you since those basement workouts or the workouts on your garage. Like, you know what I mean? So I was just doing what I felt like, you know, I wanted to do. I just, you know, just put the camera up and shot stuff. And then, but then I started to continue to realize that, oh, wait a minute, I can probably reach the world. So at that same time, now I'm 38 years old, and at that time, the UFC started to kick off. And before I was a beach volleyball player, indoor volleyball player, I started doing Muay Thai. So I'm 55 now. I started doing Muay Thai like 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Okay.
When I was 19, 20. And, you know, I was sold on, I was a very, I fought a lot when I was younger, so I was sold that this is the perfect street fighting art because it wasn't
a lot
big
of
either.
hitting, man.
Yeah, elbows, knees, like all that stuff. So, so I trained hard, and I soon loved Muay Thai. But of course, when you're a professional athlete, you don't have time to do that. So, fast forward, UFC starts to get big. Oh my God, there's a Muay Thai gym that just opened up close to me. So I start training Muay Thai again, and at that point, I went to Thailand. So I'm still working 9 to 5, but I went to Thailand. I'm one of those people who like want to learn from the best. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, okay, let's see. I can continue training at this gym, which is great, or I could go to Thailand and train.
Go to the home.
Yeah. So I just told my friends I'm going to Thailand. No one believes me, but I went there, trained at Tiger Muay Thai back in 2010, I guess it is. I'm trying to get the dates going here, but. And it was amazing. I spent a month there, trained super hard. It was incredible. I trained with Hoist Gracie, who was there doing a seminar. So while I was there, though, I realized that there's all of these fighters. Like when you're training Muay Thai in Thailand, back then, all of these different MMA fighters from around the world would go to Thailand to train Muay Thai. Because if you want to train Jiu-Jitsu, you go to Brazil. Right. If you want to train if you want wrestling, you either go to the U.S. or Russia, and if you want kickboxing, you go to Netherlands, right? Like Martin Kampmann, right?
Yep.
So all of these guys are here. They're training Muay Thai, but they're in the gym and they're still doing like bis and tries and like old bodybuilding stuff. And at that time, I'd also became a certified strength and conditioning coach for MMA, strictly for MMA.
Nice.
And so. I started to see this, and I started talking. Oh, you got to train a little bit more. You got to train cardio and mobility and explosiveness. You train the wrong way, and I ended up doing a seminar there just at that time. And on the way home, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to create a site called funkmma.com, and it's going to be a place where every single fighter, no matter what level they are, can go to that site. They can click on a video, and they could do that workout, knowing that is a Funk Roberts workout, and it's going to be awesome for their strength and conditioning. And so that's what I did. As soon as we got home, I started shooting videos. We made funkmma.com, and that became like a cult, underground place for fighters. Now, at the time, I didn't know that. I just was posting, right, and grew my list and grew, on the Funk MMA side. But I was also doing like online fitness as well, and I was still working 9 to 5, right? So all of this stuff is happening the same. Yeah, the corporate stuff. So all this is happening. Loving the corporate side, but when you come home from work and then you're spending 4 or 5 hours doing what you love, which is shooting videos, figuring out the online stuff, getting your newsletter going, blogging, that's when you start to realize, wait a minute, maybe I like this stuff, even though the 9 to 5's there and it's comfortable, because it's comfortable, right? Like,
It is.
you get a check every week, you got benefits. I just got a president's club when I decided to quit. I walked into my president's office and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something on my own. I'm gonna do my own thing, because frankly, everybody in the where I worked was on my newsletter, so my fitness newsletter. So they would always
They all
come to
knew.
me. Yeah, they're always like, "Hey, Funks, so what should I do with my nutrition? Hey, what like everyone's asking me
It
questions."
was a matter of time then.
Totally. And that's exactly what he said. It's like I was waiting for this moment, but I didn't tell my wife. So when I came home, she's like, I didn't tell her at all. I came home early, and she's like, "What are you doing home?" And I'm like, "I just want to let you know I quit my job, because in order for me to do online fitness the way I want to do it, I have to be 100%, and it can't be part time, because you gotta grow your business. You gotta figure out funnels and all of the other things that go along with it." And so she's like, "All right, you better get your ass upstairs and get behind the computer, start working."
Get to work.
So she was good. She was awesome in that sense. So Funk MMA is growing. My Spartacus type workouts are growing. I had a couple of big launches, and then then it's all about me just launching program after program, like fitness program, this workout program, this workout program, this workout program. And after a while, you get fatigued, right? Because all I'm doing is launching. I'm not, so yes, you make 100K, maybe 70K, 50K, 40K, but it's not guaranteed every time, right? And the
Launches
amount
are
of
stressful too.
Totally.
A lot of work.
Oh my God, it's horrible. And then you got affiliates as well that you had to manage.
It's a whole nother layer of ball.
Dude.
I'm doing that right now on a project. I'm like, there's a reason why I didn't like doing this.
Oh, totally. Right? Because so and so tells you they're gonna do it for you, and then just before you launch, I can't do it. Sorry.
That just happened today, folks.
See?
I swear to God.
It's I get goosebumps. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I know. Well, it happens.
So the affiliate game started to dissipate in the fitness world because people weren't promoting each other's products anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone was just focusing on themselves. And then a guy named Rick Casalge, because I was on a mastermind. One of the masterminds, I was on the hot seat, and he just said, "Funk, stop all this bullshit about like you launching." And can I swear here?
Yeah, you're good. All the way.
Stop all this bullshit. You got a million videos. All you're doing is launching. You're just sabotaging yourself. You need a membership site. And he just ripped into me. And I was like, you know what? He's 100% right. I'm like, thank you very much. So I created a membership site, my very first membership site. And the way I got people into the membership site, this is back in the day, whatever that means, 10 years ago, was the forced continuity.
Not familiar.
$5 for the pen, but you're going to get monthly membership every month for $49.
Forever. And you're not going to know about it, right?
Exactly. So, because people are buying the pen, right? They're buying a great program for $5. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. But all of a sudden, $49, $49. So yes, I had 7 figures in like 6 months. Like, it was insane. But I started to I used to have I used to have an example of one of the things I used to get from AuthorizeNet. Every day I would go and get like a pile of people who have contacted their credit card companies because they get these charges from Funk Roberts Fitness. And it was so stressful. I gave all that money back because people are just like, hey man, I bought this and all of a sudden I'm getting charged this, and $400 later. And it was just so stressful. It sent me down a very dark hole. I was depressed. I had no money left because I gave all that money back. My wife had to support me for a while because I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, seriously, it was horrible. I had all of this content, but no way, because that's all I knew was the forced continuity. No way to get him in.
And it was such a common model then too, that like you're not alone, because like I didn't do it, but I had a lot of friends that were right there, so I saw the effects of it. And good on you for giving the money back, because not everyone does that, for one.
Okay.
But the fact that you had all those chargebacks, disputes, all that, I mean, that weighs on you. I've had those before for sure, and each one, even if it's just a couple, And I think everyone in business ends up kind of having something like that. But when it's forced continuity, yeah. And it's not your own doing because like it's kind of what you're told or like in the mastermind, you're like, oh, I'm doing this here. Oh, it must be what the market wants or,
Yeah.
but stress, man, like you said, like you went into a dark place. Like how did that change things in your mind? Like was there a reframe? What shifted there for you?
Yeah, 100%. There was, I sat down, I remember, and I said, you know what? I still want a membership site, but this time I only want to work with people who want to work with me. And that was really the shift, right? And then at the same time, as I'm now getting older, I decided, okay, I want to work with men over 40 because when I was 39 turning 40, so when I was first getting into all of this, I suffered from what I didn't know was low testosterone, but I suffered from what happens to most guys when they reach 39, 40, right? Like
Yeah.
I had a big belt. Like I was still posting, but I was big and puffy. Like I was
Puffy.
215 pounds. Usually I'm 185 pounds. So
Oh, that's a big difference.
215 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Puffy muscle syndrome, kind of like
Uh-huh.
big and puffy, big belly. My libido. So the girlfriend that I had at the time, literally, it's like when people tell you like you watch a movie or you read a book and they say, oh, as soon as she had her bags packed at the door, literally, I got home from the gym and she had her bags packed and she literally said to me, I'm leaving you because we're not having sex and I need sex and that's it. And
Yeah.
for so many words, and she was gone, and that led
Yeah.
me down a path of addiction, drugs, partying, going to strip joints because for me it felt like I lost my manhood. That's what that hit me. Like my manhood's gone. So how do I get my manhood back? Oh, let me go to strip joints. Let me go to after hours. Let me party with all the chicks. Let me show everybody that I'm a man. So I put on this mask to mask my manhood, but it's leading me down into an even deeper hole, right?
It's like a
Depression.
dopamine hit, but that only lasts for so long. You're obviously out more money now too, but and a whole lot of time. And yeah, oh man, you're not alone, man. I mean, I know. So a lot of my audience here, I can't speak for them on personal journeys, but I know most of them are over 40 or right there, 40 and up. So I guarantee someone's listening right now or watching and being like, and
Yeah.
especially the low T, man, low testosterone. That's a real deal. And I want to make sure we hit on that because I think that affects us in so many ways. And, this show's not all about business. It's life. Like, it's like, how do we show up in business, in life? But like us as men, I mean, that's a massive, it's just like with women when they're around the same age, they have their own stuff going on. But yeah, low T, I don't know if now is a good time to get into
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like what you learned around that.
Totally, yes. So with all of these things happening, I have no clue what's going on because here's this fitness guy who, if you look back at my videos, you see I was having a basketball jersey on because I would never looked at myself in the mirror, right? So January comes, yearly checkup, get my blood work done, go back to get the results, and the doctor's like, "Hey, dude, your testosterone levels are 185 nanograms per deciliter." That's one of the ways to measure testosterone.
Yeah.
And to me, that doesn't mean anything to me because he's like, oh, well, that means your testosterone levels are of like an 80-year-old. But I still didn't resonate with me because I thought, well, I'm a big guy, so I must have a lot of testosterone. I'm in the strip joints doing whatever, so I must have a lot of
Have the drive, right?
testosterone. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The fake drive, which
Yeah.
really there's no drive at all because when you're on drugs, there's no drive.
Good point.
And so, and so it's like I didn't have that connection. And he's like, oh no, the reason why this. So he just went down the line. The reason why you're getting injured all the time. The reason why you've got a belly fat. All of these things he started to go down that line. I'm like, okay. And so back then, like testosterone, TRT, and all this replacement stuff wasn't a big thing. But I already knew from being an athlete that I want to stay away from that stuff because we're always tested and all that stuff. So I already knew about what happens to your body when you put exogenous hormones in. So he's trying to put that on me, but then he also said you can do this naturally, right? You can do this naturally. So I go online and try to look to see workouts for men over 40, nutrition for men over 40, zero, not like absolutely nothing. Like just over 40, but it's mostly for women because in the fitness industry, it's easier to sell to women than it is to men. So I just dug, and luckily I had connections with hormone specialists and all these other people that I had connections with through my professional days, and I was able to transform my body in six months. So it went from 215, 185, and that's when I went to Thailand because I felt like I was a new man, right? Like a brand new man, eating healthy, like just new mindset, confidence, energy. So fast forward to now, I'm in, depressed from the business side. I decided I want to hit men over 40. So I go back online to look to see what's going on in this industry. Still nothing for men over 40. Every single article is about women over 40 or it just says over 40. And even to this day, there's still not a ton of information. It's just now starting to become a little bit more aware because the fitness people who were in their 30s before are now turning 40. So now they're just like, oh, let me just switch over to men over 40.
For sure. But you're there, man. You planted your flag.
Yeah, exactly. So that's when I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to create the over 40 shred is what it was called at first. And I'm only want to work with men who want to work with me. So it's going to be a membership site. It's going to have phases. So the journey is going to be, Vince Del Monte, actually, another online fitness guy, and, he does coaching and stuff now. He said to me, whenever you set up a membership site, there needs to be a start and a finish. So this is like a business. If you have a membership site or you have continuity or subscription based, the one thing you can't do is, or shouldn't do, is set up like a Netflix style thing where someone comes in and then they choose from all the stuff you have. Because when people are coming to you for help, they want you to guide them through step 1, step 2, step 3. They don't want to come in and try to continue to figure things out. Yeah. Oh, well, I gave them all this information. It's so frustrating. And I hear that from because I also help other people with membership sites to grow, to do their tribe stuff. So that's the number one thing for the people who already have a site. They're always saying, I always get people asking me where to start, but I have all the information there. It's like, no. Listen, it's too overwhelming for people. They want you to tell them where to start. And not only that, they need to see the finish line. Like they need to see, okay, this is where I'm going to start and that's where I'm going to end up. Cool. And here's the journey in between. So I set up phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, all the way to
steps all the way through.
All there. Every phase is a different 28 days. You get workouts, you get nutrition. The nutrition's basic. It's the same nutrition for the whole, their whole journey. But I wanted to ensure that I need to set something up so that it was like follow along. So I remember I remember P90X, right? P90X. It was a fitness program with Tony Horton. I love, the reason why I love that was because it was a follow along. So it's like and he's right there with you. And there was something about that. Like Beachbody, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
I said, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to do follow along workouts. Literally, you're going to click play. You and I are going to train together, but I'm also going to be there to coach you because I also realize that men over 40 generally don't know how to work out because they haven't worked out in a long time. In their 30s, they got kids, they got their career, all this stuff. So that's what I set up. So the reason why I set that up also was to help men naturally increase testosterone. So to get back to testosterone, because we naturally lose testosterone 1 to 2% every year after the age of 30. So what generally happens is, we reach 30 and every year our testosterone are naturally decreasing, and usually it's much more than that based on our lifestyle. But testosterone for us guys, that is our lifeline. Like women have estrogen, we have testosterone. Of course, we have a little bit of estrogen, but that's what gives us our drive, our confidence. That's what helps us burn fat, and that's what helps us get rid of the belly fat. That's what helps us build muscle. That's what helps us with our mood. Like it's everything. So a lot of times when guys they start to feel like, I don't feel like myself anymore. I don't have the energy, you know what I mean? And I can't, like, I'm starting to, either I'm getting skinny fat or I'm just really out of shape. And I just, and my joints are feeling it. And usually they chalk it up to being 40. Okay, I've reached that 40. Now it's downhill from there. And it didn't help when they started to talk about the dad bod and making it a big thing, and it's cool to have a dad bod, but the dad
Dude, it's a
bod's
mindset
too-
thing. Like it's what that perception is, right? Because people will hold on to that and like that
Yeah.
ain't true, man.
Yeah, it's the identity. Like they need to attach themselves to an identity that will help them think, okay, well, the reason why I'm like this is because I'm 40. So, and the dad bod's cool. So it is cool to have a belly. It is cool to have this dad bod, but it's not cool because it was Leonardo DiCaprio who, remember, he's an actor, right? So actors, their bodies change based on what role they're trying to do. So
They
he
shrink
could've
and
been-
expand
I
like
think
crazy.
it was Django that they. I think he was getting ready for Django, where
Yeah.
he played the slave owner. He
Yep.
wasn't in great shape, right? So,
No.
he's on the beach in between the movies, and that's what he's looking like because he's getting ready for Django, man.
Can't be good for your health though, that swing,
No,
like,
definitely
but that's
not.
a whole nother topic.
Yeah. So now people understand that that the dad bod is not cool. It's
Yeah.
actually affecting you in worse ways than you think because it's a visceral fat. That's really the fat that's around the organs and
Yeah.
around the liver. That's the bad fat. So naturally increasing testosterone was my was kind of like the hook or the key to getting people into the Brotherhood or into my program and keeping them there through nutrition, through specific workouts that they do at home,
Yep.
with just body weight or dumbbells. So the other thing I thought about was, okay, I need low barrier. Here's another tip for anyone who has memberships is you want to make everything, you want to take away any barrier that like, okay, I could be in the gym training all the time and people need access to a gym, but that means they need to pay for a gym membership. And that means they have to have access to a gym, right? So what is one of the biggest, things that happen with guys at our age? We don't have time to go to the gym. We don't, like we come home, we're
Yeah.
tired. We don't want to go to the gym. So home workouts, easy to do at home. I have the recovery piece because again, as we get older,
That's a big piece. Yeah.
yeah, as we get older, we don't recover the way we used to.
No.
Joint pain, all of this stuff, and even between. One of the other things too is when I created this, I wanted to make sure that men don't get injured, right? So I put yoga and mobility in with this as well, which again is really foreign to other guys. But here's the thing: when I created this, I created it to be a place to help men, but also to create a community. But that didn't happen at first.
Yeah.
At first, it didn't happen. It was like people would come in and they would leave every 3 months, every 3 months, every 3 months. It's a churn rate. People keep
And
can't.
that's a pretty common number that people I know from membership sites for like the last 10 years have been like, oh, about 3 month churn rate, oh, I'm killing it if I'm 4 or 5,
Right.
But yeah, tell me, because this is super important. I love how we're like dropping tidbits about the membership site, continuity business. But yeah, talk about like, because maybe this gets into, because you have the 3 phases in the tribe book, and just like how you go through things.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that fits in here just to show like how can you actually create that brotherhood, like someone else could do the same. And because I mean, you literally have people tattooing, your logo and the name on themselves. not just you though.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
no,
awesome,
yeah,
too.
yeah. No, they this is the tattoo.
Yeah.
These are the tattoos they put on. And these are men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay, so when I started, like I said, I thought I had the journey, right? I thought I had everything in place, but people would still constantly, as you mentioned, every 3 months. If I got to 4, that was great, but I was hustling too much on the outside. That's the other thing I also said. I don't want to have to be a slave to social media and be always out there with ads. Like I want to spend 80% of my time inside my membership. That was my goal. But I still found myself doing exactly what I did not want to do, trying to hustle to get people in, doing all of these ads, all of just all of the things that most people do today to get people in. I had the transactional mindset, and I had to change that to a transformation mindset and when you change that, it's a little bit of a longer game, but you will do things that will help your guys stay. So things weren't happening. I reached out to the twins, Mike and Rick Thielman. These are one of the twins I met at Keep Infusionsoft had like their mastermind thing that we met.
Yeah.
And they were into cults at that time. They were into cults and building cult brands. And so I reached out to them like, listen, I got this membership site and I need your help. So we sat down here in Toronto and we mapped out all of these things. And they had these 27 psychological secrets, 27 psychological strategies that you implement into. You can do this to anything. If you want a tribe, a customer that will never leave you, if you want a community, like a real community,
like tight. We're talking longevity.
Yes,
okay.
Not just, oh, I got a Facebook group and leave it. It's more like these guys tell each other they love each other. Like these are men, again, these are men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. They're from all over the world. So these are all religion, all backgrounds, from everywhere. I love you, brother. You know, it's like, they're supporting each other because we don't talk politics, we don't talk religion, we don't talk pop culture, none of that shit's, it's all about the brotherhood. So they started to talk about, okay, let's look at what you have. First of all, you have something called the over 40 shred. So that's not going to work because over 40 shred, there's no identity or connection to the person. So I changed it to over 40 alpha. So that was the very first thing they told me. That was the only thing they told me at the beginning. And once I made that change, that's when things started to change. So
identity. It's personal identity. Someone could attach to it now.
Exactly. So they showed me the three kind of like, there's three elements to the tribe secrets. We wrote a book called Tribe Secrets. We wrote a book called Tribe Secrets, a big, huge book. And so there's three stages. First, it's tribe attraction. So you have to make sure you're attracting the right person. So, people talk about avatars and brand archetypes, and that's so important, but you have to attract the right person, you being the tribe leader. You have to attract that person. The second is the tribe experience. So what type of experience are you going to give them to make sure that motivates them to stay, right? Because once you attract the right person, how are you going to keep them as a customer? How are you going to keep them in your ecosystem, right? So you have to create that experience. And then the tribe bonding is the third piece, right? So how do you create a deeper sense of identity? Because to be honest, once these guys, like they're coming, every single person that joins my brotherhood, they're not in great shape at all, right? I don't get the guys who are already going to the gym, who are, sure. I don't get those guys.
They want transformation, right?
Yeah, these are the ones that they don't know what's going on with their bodies. So once they do, 6 months later, 7 months later, once they get the abs or they're transformed or, now they feel great, then what, right? Like how do I keep them in? How come I have a 3-year program? Because my program is actually 36 phases, right? Oh, wow. And that was built because of the need to continue to add phases because these guys kept going through. And so you need to create the bonding experience. So there's all of these different kind of strategies that you put in place. You can't just pick and choose. There is a system in place. So, at the beginning, right? At the beginning, the origin, the connection. I talked about me struggling when I was 39, right? So when someone looks at me, they're like, oh yeah, well, you're Funk Roberts. You've been in the industry for whatever long. You're a former professional athlete. You don't know what I'm struggling with. You're ripped. You don't know what I went through. You don't know what I'm going through, but I do. So my origin story connects with their story. Like I understand what they're going through. Yeah. So when we speak, when we do our live coaching calls, my marketing hits all of their pain points because I know what they're going through because I went through the same thing. So right away, there's that connection. Okay.
Can you give like a little example of like, how would you speak that out? For someone listening to connect to, you got your story, but like, how do you bring someone in and have them relate to their own story that they're ruminating, they're thinking about this as you're talking?
Yeah. So the one thing I did was just tell my story. So this is what I was going through. These are the things that I was suffering from. So I know all of the pain points. So I got to pull those in, low T. Actually, I don't even talk about low T because there's no connection. They still don't connect low T.
Too early, right?
Yeah, it's way too early. And I had to learn that because I led with the low T and it still wasn't connecting. And I went up, I had the belly fat. I had no energy. I couldn't build muscle. I didn't know what to eat or how, when to eat. And then I created a system. So now it's, okay, this is where I was at. This is what I did, something completely different, something you've never done before, and this was the result. And I've helped this many people do it. So the other thing that's really important is having the results. Because so when you're talking to your avatar through marketing, because generally speaking, it's just one video it's literally one ad that we have running or two ads that we have running.
That's it, huh? On YouTube or?
Okay. We do YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, we do. YouTube is, by the way, YouTube is gold. Okay, YouTube ads, people. YouTube ads.
I'm chatting with Alaric Heck after you, actually, and he's a YouTube ad ninja. So, I'll be talking about you with him.
He will tell you. Yeah. It's still an open space for ads. Like, it's still, people are.
But you're doing, I mean, you obviously are leveraging the organic stuff. You're doing that well. You got to do the fundamentals on YouTube, right? And then the ads there's a whole different talk, obviously. But hey, I'm pausing this episode really fast to shout out another show you should follow. It's called This Old Marketing. It's hosted by Joe Pulizzi and Robert Rose. These guys are expert content marketers. This show is also on the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. Now, Joe and Robert on this show, they break down all of the latest content marketing trends and things you got to know as a business owner to attract and retain customers. They break down old marketing strategies called This Old Marketing Examples from the past and apply it to the now. So super useful. It is entertaining. They love to rant. Joe and Robert do. So I always love a good rant. And just go check it out yourself. Go check out their latest episode. Listen to This Old Marketing wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, are you tired of the hassle of building sales funnels? I totally get it. I've been there. You started your business not to be chained to your laptop all day. You built it for freedom. And thankfully, there is an all-in-one platform that makes it easier for you so you can focus on attracting customers online. The platform is called Kartra, and it gives you all the tools you need to grow your business. The best part is Kartra comes stocked with all the done-for-you campaigns, so you don't have to worry about thinking about building from scratch. Everything is designed, connected, and written for you already. It also leverages AI to help you with some of this writing. All you got to do is just customize this to your liking, and then boom, you got a fully built sales funnel for you. This is marketing made easy, so go try it out for free. 30-day free trial over at hustleandflowchart.com/Kartra will get you there. So again, that's hustleandflowchart.com/KARTRA.
No, actually, I don't do the organic at all. Because that's exactly what I wanted to stay away from. I did not want to do organic. I just want people coming into my membership, and I'm inside the membership. I'm fostering that bonding because I want these guys to stay forever. So they buy my supplements. So they buy, my resistance bands and all the other things that I have that are branded. I have the other streams of revenue inside my membership, right? Other memberships that I create that they also join. So it's like an ecosystem, but that was only based on the trust, and the connection. Because now they trust me now. Like, they don't trust me 100%, but they trust me a little bit more because of the origin story. So you got to tell your story and really go deep. Like, I don't hold anything back. I go, like I just told you guys, I was in the prostitutes, but I go even deeper. Like hookers, prostitutes, friggin' strip joints, like after hours, gang, like all of that stuff. Because that's where that drugs and all that stuff leads you, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So when you start talking like that, specific to, I know my audience. These are men in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We all have shit, right? We all have stuff that
some layer
that we suppress. And now they're seeing, okay, there's this black guy who's talking about all this stuff. He really understands what I'm going through, because sounds like he does. Okay, let me hear more. It's a $1 trial, so you got to keep the barrier low, right? 30 days, because again, I got to prove to them. So this is the difference between a transactional type of mindset and a transformational mindset. A transactional mindset is all about join, and then join. Look at me, join, and you don't even care about anybody when they get in there.
And that's the problem is a lot of people will not. They're focused on the marketing, the inbound. Like let's convert, let's get them in. How about we fulfill and actually foster community and care? After that transaction. Yeah.
Right, which is the results, right? Which is the transformation. So the transformation side, yes, it's longer. You gotta show up weekly or whatever you have for your coaching calls for everybody. You gotta make sure that they get results. You gotta build something that's gonna get results. And so, so for me, and again, I don't want to be out there all the time. So I have a YouTube channel, but if you look at the workouts from my YouTube channel, the last one was like a year ago. Right. I used to do it all the time because when COVID hit, that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing follow along workouts because no one did follow along workouts when COVID hit. Everyone was doing like the kind of like demo, whatever. And I said, you know what, at this point in my life, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to put out a follow along workout. And if I fart, if I sweat, if I swear, that's what's going to happen. And so my video guy and we just did it, and people just they liked it. They liked it. Like, okay, this is real. This is a real fitness guy, but he's showing us while he's dying and what have you. So people loved it. And then during COVID, my business exploded because I was doing those follow along workouts. I was putting them into the membership site, and it saved a lot of people during that time because again, it was a lot of body weight and dumbbell training that they could do at home. And that was always my mantra anyway. I just like, oh, well, maybe I'll just put it on more workouts on YouTube, but I'm going to change it from demos and me showing you the best of me in an exercise to this is it, guys. Welcome to my workout today. Today we're doing this, and this, and let's get started. And so, but now I don't do that. I barely post on Instagram. The only thing I post on my Instagram are the results of the guys because I like to showcase my guys. That's what I love to do. And so, so that one ad brings people in or whatever, the ad brings them in. And because I have that connection, it allows us to, it brings people in. And then for those 30 days, I have to make sure they get results.
Yeah.
Right. And so we get 30 to 40 new people a day, join. Nice. And then at the end of the month, when we do our stats, usually about 60% of those people will convert from a $1 trial into a membership. The membership started at $29, then $39, then $49. So that's really where we're at right now. So there's people all over the place. Some are paying $29, some are paying $49. But it starts with that origin story. Yeah. Because that's how you're going to connect with your audience if you have the same kind of struggle or understanding that they have.
That's it, man. And I love the simplicity. I mean, obviously you did a lot of work on YouTube ahead of time. So no doubt you got people, stuff's floating out there, and that's why YouTube's so powerful. The algorithm, watch time for follow along videos, I'm sure help everything too. Yeah. I'm like, it's a great strategy just in itself. But the fact that, are you doing in-stream ads? Like, so.
Yes. Okay. In-stream ads. It's actually, join my 30-day. I have a 30-day for free right now. Actually, I'm stepping it up another notch because I was in a marketing class, and one of my fellow students was like, you know what you should do? You should even lower the barrier and just be like, not even a credit card. Like, try that out. Not even a credit card. And luckily, Stripe just came out with so this is another tip. If you use Stripe, they just came out with the ability to not take a credit card in a trial, but then automatically, like 3 days or 4 days or whatever you set it, automatically send, hey, okay, your trial's almost over. Here's the link to automatically, put your information in and purchase the monthly. So nice. that never happened. You'd have to kind of do that,
You'd have to put a card in.
Yeah, but Stripe allows that now with one of their add-ons that they just had. So that's a good upgrade for people who have Stripe.
Yeah, that's a good upgrade. Well, yeah, I'm just thinking, because we've kind of had I love the way that we've navigated this conversation, dude, and I feel like we can keep going for a long time because the Tribe Secrets book, for one, I want to point people that way so they pick this thing up because it's literally a manual. And I was just got my hands on it last night, and I have been going through it, and I'm just like, wow. Yeah. It's like you said, the attraction phase. There's 11 right there alone, just for that phase that you could swipe and deploy, like the origin story being one of them.
Yeah.
And other ones like brand archetype, shared values, beliefs, and then list goes on to experience and bonding. So how do people get a hold of that? Because I just want to shout that out.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, tribemethod.com. If you head over to there, I think that it's either just the book or we have the whole growth system where we kind of go through, like the twins will go through the psychological secret. And I go through and literally show you how I implemented every single one of these secrets into my brotherhood and give you like, this is what happened and this is what we do. You talked about, having the shared beliefs. That's really important, right? Like we all have the same belief. Like my goal actually is not just getting them to lose weight and build muscle and increase testosterone and all that stuff. It's actually to create better men, right? Because we're losing our men right now, right? Whether it's externally or internally from guys who never showed up before, or just guys who are struggling and not showing up for their marriage or their kids. So it's kind of like a new wave of man, right? Like we do things differently. Like we talk differently, we treat women differently, we work out differently, we eat differently. Like all of the things we don't complain. We look for solutions. So all of these beliefs are my beliefs. These are the same beliefs I have. So I share those beliefs with them, and the people who attach those beliefs, it's very, very evident, right? And it's just this is how we become men, right? So we weave those into the things that we do inside the program, because it is more than just like, okay, we're standing for something more than just losing weight. We're standing for being a new wave of man. We're standing against having low testosterone but doing it naturally. We're standing against people always pushing us down, kind of thing. And again, some of there are definitely toxic men out there, but they
toxic
get
masculinity or whatever it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we are also facing it like, just being a man and being in certain situations, that's not cool to say certain things. Testosterone, actually saying that, that you want testosterone, whatever, that used to have a negative connotation. So I actually created the National Testosterone Day to actually
Nice.
bring that type of knowledge out there, that this is why we need testosterone. So building all of this out starts to get that buy-in from the people who join, right? So yes, they're getting results, and that's the number one thing. They have to get the first, lose whatever weight they came in to lose, or build muscle, or whatever.
Yep.
And everything is different from what they've done before. So like, it's not the same old workouts or same old nutrition. It's actually a nutrition system based on helping them boost testosterone, right? So there's always something that makes sense, right? Like the way they eat. Okay, the way I'm eating this way because of this. So teaching them why they're eating, not just here's a diet, here's the fad diet of this month. This is what you're doing. This is why we eat this way. This is why we stay away from those types of foods. And then we have to have like I said, you have to have that journey, right? This is where you're starting.
Path, yeah.
This is where you're ending. And in between, these are the things that we do. So some of the other things that we talk about is like we have rituals, right? So I'm just gonna kind of go into like the community part of it, because a lot of people struggle with getting engagement in their community, right? Because it is like, community for me is my Facebook group. That's my community. But other people have like forums or whatever. But mine's a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And the reason why I chose Facebook is because everyone's basically on Facebook. My audience is on Facebook. So you got to know your audience, right? So my guys, they're generally on Facebook. So creating a Facebook group, getting them in, and then having rituals. So rituals for us, we have something called, like we post our meals, right? So we have alpha meals. People post their meals, they take a picture and they post it. And then everyone will go in to make sure that they're balanced plate meals. So they have a source of protein, a source of starchy complex carb, a healthy fat, and vegetables or fruits. So they'll post their meals. So that's a ritual that we do. We also have something called sweaty selfies. So after your workout, you post your sweaty selfie, right? And that's another ritual. These are rituals that
showing that you're doing it, showing that you're accountability to yourself, but also sharing.
That's exactly. And that just becomes, oh yeah, I'm just going to post my sweaty selfie. I got it done. This is what phase I'm in. This is what I'm doing. And I got it done. We have, birthday burpees. So every time you have a birthday, you have to put the video camera up your phone and you do the amount of burpees for your age. That's just everybody does it, no matter what. You do your birthday burpees. That's a ritual. Accountability Sundays is a ritual. Meal prep Saturdays. They do meal prep and they listen to a podcast episode or whatever will get them into the zone. And then they post their meal prep. Those type of rituals are only things that an over 40 alpha does, because other guys don't do this, right? Yeah. Only over 40 alpha. So that's kind of like the mindset that I instill in when they come in. Like, here's a great example. The other day, someone said they were brand new. He was like 280 pounds, totally, overweight, obese. And he said to me, I can't do burpees. And this was on a coaching call. He said, I can't do burpees. I said, yeah, you're right. You can't do burpees, but the over 40 alpha that you are right now can do burpees. That guy, that old guy, 100% he can't do burpees, right? So I disconnect them from the old person that they are and say, okay, but you can do burpees. You at least can try. So this happened 2 weeks ago. So last week's, he's like, oh yeah, Funk, guess what? I did like 2 burpees and I also actually modified the burpees, right? I'm like, yeah, because that's what you do. That's what we do. So the identity piece is so important. Detaching
and you're lifting them up to that 100%. New identity, because we're so comfortable, right? Like in where we've been, and we think that's always our reality, our future reality as well. But it's like, no, it doesn't have to be the same. And there you are, Funk, as an external lifter upper, but really you're showing them, hey, it's already in you. Yeah. So like you're allowing them to believe in themselves, or at least see themselves in a different identity.
Yeah, and the fact that everyone else in the Brotherhood who've been there, they do the same thing, because the way I have my program, another tip for you, if you have a membership site, make sure everyone starts in the exact same place. May not be the same time, but everyone starts in the same place. So for me, everybody who comes in the Brotherhood, you start in phase 1, then you go to phase 2, then you go to phase 3. When you get to phase 3 and you finish phase 3, here's another tip. We give them a milestone t-shirt, because one of the things that we have to do, how are we going to keep them in? Remember we talked about like the 3-month churn rate? Well, the milestone that they're looking to get to keeps them in, right? Because, okay, I hit that milestone, perfect. Okay, phase 3, now you're going to phase 4, phase 5, phase 6, another milestone t-shirt. Each t-shirt says something different. Phase 7, 8, 9, another milestone, and then phase 12, they become an Alpha OG, which is a new level. It's kind of like unlocking a level, because they've lived the program for a year. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of OG. It's insane how many people can do a program for 1 year. And that was actually the reason why I had to make another 12 months, because people are like, okay, what do I do next? So I'm not going to send them back to phase 1. But the reason why I say you want to make sure everyone starts in the same place is because if someone's brand new, which happens all the time, every day, they're going to post their before picture. The next day, they're going to do workout number 1, and they're going to be like, man, that was such a hard workout. It was so tough. But someone who's in phase 12 or 15 or 29 or 32 is going to go, don't worry, I remember how hard that workout was. You're going to keep going. So because everyone's on the same journey, there's that common connection. Okay, I know exactly what that guy's going through. And in fact, I know that when I came in here, I may have looked like that. You're not going to look like that if you keep, trusting the process. That's also what happens. Trust the process. Guys always say, don't worry, trust the process. I know you haven't, lost the 30 pounds you wanted to lose in month number 1. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. So because everyone starts in the same place, because we have the milestone t-shirts, so people who are new see all these guys wearing these t-shirts. That's another thing. It's called uniformity. Everyone in your membership or in your continuity, they look the same, because everyone's, they're rocking that. But they can only get it. They can only earn it. They can't buy it. They earn it in their sweat. And so that t-shirt that cost me $12, $15, in the long term, because people are going to stay monthly, $29 or $39 or $49 a month. Yeah. And again, remember, it's not just the short term, because all of these guys have finished phase 36, and now they may be in I just launched the resistance band membership site. So they may go to my resistance band membership site, or they may go to my over 40 muscle membership, because they stay in the ecosystem, because you've created such a strong bond with not only you, but other guys, right, or other members. And it's something that gets them results. And also, it's not about me. This program is not about me. That's the other thing. It's like zero about me and all about them. So that's why that's why from a transformational type of person, the ego of a transactional type of person generally is about me, right? Like, look at me, I'm here. Like, you can see, like, influencers are huge, fitness influencers specifically.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ripped.
They want to be the middle of the action.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
It's
ripped.
like you created the
Look at me.
container.
It's this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which I used to be that many years ago,
Sure.
but it was just that hustle. And it's like, wait a minute. Who cares about me? It's like, this is about them. So the transformation is about their transformation, right?
Yep.
And so when you build that type of thing with milestones and ways to keep them in, there's so many different ways. It's so exciting because there's so many different ways you can use the milestones. Because when people go for the t-shirt, they have to fill out a form, and they have to give us their before and after, their before picture and their transformation picture at that point.
Yeah.
And so when they give you that, now that is a spotlight that we use. So we spotlight them. That's another secret. You got to
Highlight them, yeah.
Highlight, spotlight, lift them up. So now we're getting all of these before and afters. We're getting all of these stories. Every single 3 months, we're getting a whole bunch of them. Plus the OG, that's another hierarchy. Then I added another one called the Alpha Savage. They get this coin. Let's see if I know where's the coin? Every time I want it, it's gone. Anyway, so they get a coin that shows them. Well, here it is. Yeah, this is the coin. This is huge for people. So this is the Alpha Savage coin.
That's a cool looking coin too.
Yeah,
It's no cheap.
this is one of our signs, right? This is what I do after every coaching call. This is our logo, the provide, protect, procreate for our kingdom. This is the for the pillars. So everything here, and it's a nice heavy coin. And the reason why we created this coin was because after phase 12, people started to kind of drop off. They were still in the Brotherhood, but they weren't really doing things. So we needed something. Okay, what can we do to motivate these guys to continue on this journey? So we added the coin. We added something called the alpha zone, where your testosterone levels have to be a certain level. So we're always getting people's testosterone scores. There's so many different. I get excited.
Dude, there's
so
layers
many,
on layers.
It's incredible. But like you said, there's guys who get the tattoo. We have signs. So it's crazy. The other day, this is insane. The other day, I'm standing outside of my house and I'm talking to the neighbors. I talk to everybody. So we're talking. All of a sudden, this car drives by and puts this up. And they're like, Brotherhood, right?
What?
And I'm like, what the hell? Who is that?
In your neighborhood.
In my neighborhood. The guy was driving. He lives over on the other side. But this is our sign. So if I'm walking down the street and I look at it and I'm like, well, that looks like James Eberhard. And then I do this and James does this, we know. Because only we know this sign. No one else knows it. So it blew me away. It's like, who's that? Who's that? That's what people are saying. I'm like, that person has to be in the Brotherhood. I don't know who it is, but they're in the Brotherhood. Only people in the Brotherhood know to throw this up.
There you go, man. I mean, like you're literally creating a healthy cult of your own, the tribe, you know. And
the Brotherhood.
like you said, the twins, the Brotherhood. And well, here's the thing. So I want to also direct people to that. So what's the best call to action? You know, point me there, man.
Tribe.
Where do people join?
Yeah, thetribemethod.com or the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
Over40alpha.com.
Okay, I'm like we talked about tribe a lot, but
over 40
alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for men over 40, 50, 60, 70. It's a complete program with, like I said, with follow along workouts. So all you have to do is click play, whether it's on our app or online on the website. The nutrition is so I wrote a book called Nutrition for Men Over 40. It's a best-selling book. Nice. You know, it's very basic, 3 meals a day, but you got to make sure every meal has a source of protein, healthy fat, carb, and vegetables or fruits. We have yoga and mobility so you don't get injured, because that was one thing I do not want people doing my program and going, I tried Funk's program and I got injured. We have weekly coaching calls, so I'm always like, that's the biggest thing for me is every single week we do a coaching call, whether it's in the Facebook group. I'm going back to the Zoom calls.
Cool.
Those calls generally last about 2 hours because I like to talk, as you can tell.
I love it.
There's so much in there, man.
I know,
and
man.
the community is this, like, these guys are so incredible. Right now we're doing this challenge. Here's another tip. I don't know how long we have here. I got all day, but I don't know how long we have.
We can probably wrap pretty soon. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's all good.
One last tip. So if you're having problems with engagement in your community or what have you, I would suggest doing a very low hanging
barrier.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. Low barrier challenge. A challenge though that forces people to post things every day. So right now we're doing a 31 for 31 challenge. 31 push-ups for 31 days. It's very low. It's only 31 push-ups, right? It's not like 100 push-ups or 100 burpees.
It's not the Sally up, Sally down, is it?
Yeah, no. It's just 31. Just do 31 perfect push-ups every single day for 31 days. If you go into my membership site right now, the Over 40 Alpha Brother, you will see hundreds of videos of guys posting their push every single day. They set up the video and they show their push-ups, the accountability, the engagement. And people that haven't been engaged in, I don't know, ever. There's some guys who've been in the Brotherhood for a long time, but don't do anything. They're like the lurkers. All of a sudden, those lurkers are all about it because they start to, it's very easy to do push-ups. Well, it's not easy, but you know what I mean? Like to film it. But the key is I make them film it. Why? Because I want that engagement. I want other people to see other members, to see other guys getting it done. Right. So that's one of the things that makes the challenge a little bit challenging, which I thought it was going to be, but it's not. So you get all kinds of freaking videos too, right? Like,
and just right there in the Facebook group, right?
Right
just
there. They
simple.
Upload it. They put day 5, day 6. So what that does is it starts to kickstart your engagement inside your Facebook group. We've always had great engagement, but I never realized that it would get like, this is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, that's smart, man. I've done that. I'm also a part of some other groups, men group that similar things. Like that's why I brought the Sally up, Sally down. Like I've been doing. That's tough though, to start with. But the low barrier, like you said, push-ups or burpees, maybe it's a little higher. Sit-ups, whatever it is. But filming, I think, is key. And as the one that has the group, it's like get that engagement. It's a perfect reason to support everyone, but it supports you for obviously more sales too, as time goes on, and you got I'm sure a big group of people that are a lot of lurkers, but then that brings them out of the woods.
Totally. And the Sally, without I don't tell them this, but yes, we are going to do it at the end of this because I'm training them. They don't know this, but I'm training them to do that because they won't be able to do it right off the bat. But now
it's like 31 push-ups, I think, right?
31 push-ups. I believe it is.
I knew it. Yeah, because I could do it. Yeah, what I realized, it's a mental thing. Because there was I kept stopping about halfway through. It took me a good 2 months. And then it was just a weird mental flip. It was breath work too, because I do a lot of that. Yeah. And then it just shifted. It was like once I got over that hump, boom. I haven't been able to not do it now. Okay. I've even taken a couple months off between. I was like, wonder if I could still do it. Still do it.
Okay.
I'm like, this is crazy.
I actually didn't know it was 31 push-ups.
It's either 31 or 32. It's right there. That's why I asked. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Because I just did it because it's July. 31.
That makes sense too. Yeah. Count it out. Don't check me on that. But I know it's 3 minutes and change, but you're push up and hold, and it's that whole thing.
That's perfect. Okay.
Right. I'm sure you've done it many times. Well, dude, Funk, let's leave it here as I'll put all the stuff in the show notes, description, of course. Because definitely join. I see the landing page here. $1 now. If you can find that free offer somewhere on YouTube, go jump in that too.
Yes.
What's the, if you were to leave us here, man over 40 listening right now, watching, what's the one thing that we haven't covered that you feel okay, if they weren't doing this right now, if you were to do it all over again, what's the thing that's usually lacking or just not in their awareness right now?
You probably heard this before, but this is 100% what's going to keep you going during the next 40 years is your why. You have to have a strong why. That's actually what we start with when you first join. You have to have that strong why. Why are you actually taking this step to a new fitness journey or to lose weight or what have you? And it's not to lose weight. It's none of that. It's got to be deeper. I always tell these guys, your why has to make you cry. Like you literally have to keep going. You keep asking yourself, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Well, because I got kids. Okay, well, that's great. But why? Why? What's the 20 pounds going to do with your kids? Oh, well, I want to be able to run around with your kids. Okay, what else? Well, I'm sick and tired of my kids poking at my belly because I have a big belly and it makes me feel bad. It makes me like, you just got to keep going. Oh, also, my family member, like my parents have heart disease and I don't want to get heart disease. And my wife, she doesn't look at me the same way she used to look at me. She goes out and gets in shape, but I'm sitting at home with a beer in my hand, with a big belly, with my kids poking at my belly, and I feel horrible, but I just don't have that drive. I just don't know what to do. And now my wife's going out, and Tyrone, who's her fitness instructor, is telling her how good she looks and giving her all the props. And she comes home and sees me on the couch. Like, you got to go deep. But once you get that why, okay, it may not go that deep, but once you get that why, then that's going to be what keeps you going when you don't feel like working out. When Brenda comes into the office with the tray of donuts that she does every Wednesday, but this time, Brenda, I know I used to have the donuts, but I can't have them anymore. Like, that why is going to keep you going, because that is the biggest struggle for anybody, but most guys, they jump on something because we're good at that. Let's get to this program. I've got everything. But then a week, a month, 2 months, things may not be going perfectly. Things happen in life. That why is going to keep you going. So you have to get that. You have to dial it in. You have to get deep with yourself. You have to cry. It's okay to cry. I'm not judging. No one's judging you, because we all have crap in our lives. But once you get that why, that is going to be that ignition for you to stay focused during that journey.
Yeah, man, and it's all about the long game too, because that why, like you said, and when you get comfortable enough going deep, because I've done that, and start surface level, I'm like, I found it. I'm like, did you? And like, ask yourself 5 times, 10, however deep you can go. But then that's like, get emotional. I didn't used to cry, but now, like, because I've done a lot of this work, it comes out when you start going into family, dad, lost my dad to suicide. So I'm like, there's a lot of stuff there for me to dive through. And then when I broke through, I'm like, oh, you know what? Makes everything feel a lot easier for the long run, you know?
Yeah.
And then you know where to focus. So
yeah, this is a lifestyle. The Brotherhood is a lifestyle too. So like, it's just really, you're changing your life, the way you eat, the way you act, the way you react, everything that you do. It's amazing.
Funk, I appreciate you, man. We could totally do a 2-hour episode. I'm sorry, I don't have that time right now. I appreciate you a ton, man.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
All right.